Samuel's Chef video series. Today we're going to make one of my favorite dishes, and that is using a clay pot, which is very traditional Vietnamese cooking utensil, and we're going to make a clay pot pork. So, you know, the recipes when I've been doing the research says just put it right on the stove. I couldn't believe that a $10 clay pot you can just put on the stove when I've had expensive pots and pans break. But sure enough, I watched my friend and she showed me in her kitchen, and here we go. So we're going to start by getting our oil going in our clay pot and put it directly right on the flames. Supposedly flames or electric burner work just fine. So here we go. So here we go. We've got our clay pot on. We're going to put it on about a medium heat. What you want to do is make sure that you have a clay pot big enough to put about 1.5 pounds of meat in. They come in various sizes. This one's pretty huge. We're going to get started. So our first thing that we will be doing is we are going to put about 2 tablespoons of oil in the bottom of this clay pot. To that we're going to add approximately 1/4 cup of sugar. Now I'm using a cane sugar, which gives it a little better flavor, I feel. And we're gonna stir this until it dissolves. So we'll be right back. Alright, we have it just about dissolved. We're going to just keep stirring it just a little bit until it dissolves. It's actually starting to boil a little bit. To this, we're going to add our ginger, and we're going to put about a tablespoon of minced ginger to this dish. We are going to take 2 shallots. We're going to add that to the dish. And take about 2 cloves of ginger. Add that to the dish. Stir a little bit. Alright, we're going to cook it for about 5 minutes, so we'll be right back. If you could smell this now, you would smell just the most incredible fragrant smell. We've cooked it about 4 to 5 minutes. We're now going to add our pork. Now what we're basically doing is we are taking pork tenderloin and cutting it into about 1.5 inch cubes. So we're going to add our pork tenderloin right into the dish. Turn our heat up a little bit more. And we're going to brown this meat. When we get the meat about brown, we're going to add some water, so I'll be right back in a little bit. Okay, we've got it brown a little bit. We're going to add 1/2 cup of water. Going to add about 2 tablespoons of a Thai pepper sauce. Going to put to your personal preference, a little bit of salt. I also use sea salt. A little bit of pepper. And then approximately 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. It's traditional to put in 4 hard-boiled eggs into this, and it absorbs the sauce and gives that hard-boiled egg a wonderful flavor. I'm not a big fan of eggs, so we're not putting them in. Once we get this to boil, which you can see it's starting to do, we're going to turn it down on low, put the cover back on, and it will cook for about 30 to 35 minutes, and you're going to have the greatest tasting stuff that you've ever had. Now, you want to serve it with rice. Whatever your favorite brand of rice is. I usually like it with the jasmine rice. And a lot of people will use, let's say, steamed cabbage or spinach for a vegetable to go with this dish. It's just a wonderful, wonderful dish. So we're going to cover it. We're going to let it cook for about 30 minutes now. And we'll be back to show you the final dish. Here we are about 15 minutes into it cooking. Just kind of showing you what it looks like. You can stir it around. If you have a lot of beef and pork in there, you might stir it on, but this will boil off a little bit. It'll come through. You'll see how when we put the cover back on, the steam will come out of our little hole here. The sauce will reduce, and it'll be just wonderful. So we'll be back with the finished dish in a little bit. If you order this dish in a typical Vietnamese restaurant, they'll make it in a small clay pot, so they serve it right in the clay pot to you, and they just serve it with rice and, you know, some kind of side vegetable like spinach or whatever you like. So there's our finished dish, and it is just wonderful.